All right, so let's say we have a console application and we were trying to determine a, a dog type, right? And so if you remember, I created a variable that's going to hold that dog type, and that variable was declared of, like, let's say an integer. And this dog type could equal different values. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to say, have a little legend here or a list of what those values equal. So whenever the dog type is 0, we said that might be, let's say, pit bull. Whenever the dog type was 1, let's say it was a terrier. Whenever it was a 2, let's say it was a German shepherd, and so on and so forth. Say 3 was a lab or something to that effect, right? 1,000 lines of code later, or 10,000 lines of code later, if you had this variable dog type and you were stepping through your code and you're trying to read and understand what dog type equals 3 means, you really wouldn't know. And the reason why you don't know is because this is 10,000 lines of code buried deep inside your code, and you don't remember what the 3 means. So you wind up having to scroll to wherever your legend is that represents the number 3 for that dog type variable. So whenever you have situations like this where you know this is going to be a specific type and it's just going to be different numbers that represent that type, we can kind of hard code this list as that type. And that's what we refer to as an integer. As an enumeration. So to create an enumeration, you use the enum keyword, and then you give it a type name that you want to use. So I'll say edog type. And inside of that enumeration, you use this curly brace, open and close curly brace. And then inside of it, you can then name, with a hard-coded name, those different types. So you can then go pit bull equals 0, terrier equals 1, German shepherd, can't have spaces, spaces won't work, equals 2, lab equals 3. And you don't have to go in this order. You can go in any type of order that you want. I could have gone 10, 20, 30.
Only equal to numbers?
Yes, typically enumerations are based off of numbers. So here, because I now have this special enumeration entitled dog type, I can now declare my variable of that strongly typed enumeration. So I can go edog type and my variable dog type. Everybody with me so far?
Yes.
Yep. All right. Now, it just so happens that I'm working inside of a static method, so I have to declare my variables that I want to use as static. So now, if I want to assign this dog type variable, I can use some fully qualified names. Notice here the IntelliSense, when I hit Control Space, it allows me to say I want to assign dog type the value of lab by going dog type equals edog type lab. And so 1,000 lines of code later, I'm way down here. If I were to read the dog type, I could set it equal to my dog type variable, and the idea of me hovering above it allows me to see this is a very specific type, and when I'm running in real runtime, it allows me to see the value. So if I set the breakpoint here and simply run it, you'll see what I mean. So the code runs, and 1,000 lines of code later, you're debugging some code. You can hover above the dog type. It's no longer a number. It's not 0. It's not 3. It's not 1. It's hard coded to the actual type of what it is. See how that works?
Yep.